Hi everybody, welcome to Zen Mondays. I am so excited about today's topic. It's all about abundance. Hello, welcome. So before I get started in today's topic, let me tell you guys, my name is Stephanie. I am a certified coach, an energy healer, and a motivational speaker. And welcome to Zen Mondays. If this is your first time joining, welcome. If you come every Monday, so happy to see you guys. So today's topic is, I've never talked about this before, and I guess as you grow, you are ready to share. So today's topic is all about money and abundance, and it is based on principles, on universal laws and universal principles and the law of compensation. So I've been reading this amazing book called The Divine Law of Compensation by Marianne Williamson, and it's been an eye-opener, and it inspired me for today's topic. So hi Drea, welcome. So get comfortable. I took a lot of notes. I tend to focus on topics that I either, it's something that I've learned and I feel comfortable. I guess like all humans do, we tend to focus on things that are comfortable. But just to give you a little bit of a background, and then I'll jump right in. I came from a corporate background. I worked in corporate America for about 15 years, and my paychecks and my money and that abundance all came through a corporation. So about a year and a half ago, I decided to follow my dreams and take a huge leap of faith and start my own business. So in that process, it kind of like certain things came to the surface, and money and abundance was one of them. So this year, starting in 2018, so about 3 months ago, I made a promise to really focus and dedicate. I read a quote that triggered this, but it said something like external happiness or external fulfillment is an inside job. And I was like, that's an interesting thought. So I made a promise to myself to really dedicate 2018 on looking internally. What are my beliefs? What are things that I believe in that are necessarily not serving me? And I'm a firm believer in universal laws. So whatever our reality is a matter of our thoughts, our beliefs, and then our actions. So if you joined before, you know that I am spiritual. I follow spiritual universal laws. So if that's new to you, I welcome you to join in and kind of keep an eye open and see what comes up for you. See what's new, see what resonates. What doesn't, you can, put it aside. But so let's dive in. So again, I am live on Facebook and on Instagram, and set up in case I'm going like this and you're wondering what this is all about. But today I'm going to focus on the energy of abundance and the energy of money. And a few things I'm going to talk about are the universal laws, the spiritual universal laws behind those two topics, 3 ways in which you might be deactivating the law of divine compensation. So ways that you might be blocking abundance and money coming forth to you. And also, what are things that you can start doing today if you're looking at your reality and you're like, man, I wish I had more abundance in my life. Like, what can I do about that? So so that's going to be the focus on today. And again, it's basically based on the principles of A Course in Miracles, as taught by Marianne Williamson in this book, The Law of Divine Compensation, and certain things I've learned along the way. So let's jump right in. So let me start by sharing with you the basic principles of universal laws that will apply. So I'll be building on as Zen Mondays goes on. But first, to start by saying the way you can interact with the spiritual world is through your thoughts. So thoughts governed our interaction with the spiritual world. So anything you think about, anything you believe about is what's going to come true. So this law basically says your beliefs, your identity, your thoughts are the reality that you create. And a great example to kind of bring that down is a lot of times you see people win the lottery and they win millions of dollars, and within a year, 2, 3 years at the most, they go back to being bankrupt, and they go back to maybe even having less money than before they won the lottery. And the reason why is because if internally you don't change your beliefs and the way you look at money and the way you look at abundance, if your identity, let's say the identity of these people are still based on, I don't know how to manage money, I have no money, I don't believe in money, I am poor, money's evil, whatever it might be, even they could have millions of dollars, they're not going to know how to spend it, how to manage it. Their reality externally is going to match how they feel, and within years they're going to lose all the money because they haven't matched it. So this principle is telling you whatever you believe, whatever you think about, we're going to bring it to you. So that's one of the principles. The other is the universe brings you whatever your thoughts are. It cannot be any other way. So if you have thoughts of lack, it's going to express in thoughts of lack. So that doesn't mean that you just pray and you're like, oh, I'm going to pray to be abundant. That's one way to start because you're bringing awareness and consciousness into it. But then the work begins. And that's one of the things I'm going to talk about today. When you've become aware that you are co-creating your reality and you want to play around with it or you want to change your reality, how can you start taking action in order to change that reality? What else? So lastly is a miracle. So I'm going to talk a lot about miracles today. Usually in our everyday, we expect miracles to be like, I won the lottery, that's a miracle. I got a check in the mail, that's a miracle. All of those, I got pregnant, that's a miracle. Like, all of those are miracles. I'm not pregnant, by the way, just saying. All of those are miracles, but miracles, when it comes to, again, the Course in Miracles says, miracle is a shift in perception. That's when a miracle happens, when you see something different and you perceive it to be different. So an example can be of, let's say you have a boss or a friend or an acquaintance in your life that you've come to the point that you cannot stand them. Let's say it's your manager. You cannot stand them and it's so hard to work with them, or you've gotten a huge fight with your sister and it's so hard to work with them. You pray for a miracle in the sense that you pray for a change in your perception. So let's say you pray, please let me see this person different. I'm willing to see this person differently. I'm determined to see this situation differently. Pray, 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 and you lean into that. It's possible. A few weeks later, you start thinking of that person differently. So immediately you see them different. You have more compassion towards them. Or maybe you found out that there was a death in their family and that's why they've been, so annoying to be with. That's because they're sad. So as soon as you see that shift in perception and how you view them, it's a miracle. Because as soon as you shift in a perception of your reality, the miracle happens because your whole entire reality changes. So if you can today, playing around with me, if that all makes sense, let's just pretend that's our reality and the base for our conversation today. Sound good? Give me any hearts, any emojis, any comments, anything that comes to mind. I would love to hear your thoughts. Okay, we're good. So let me continue. So the second part I want to evolve into is, what is the law of divine compensation? Like, what does it even mean? So one of the things that I love in this book that she mentions is gravity. So gravity, it's basically an external phenomena of how things happen. You don't just say, yes, okay, good, thank you, Daniela, prima querida. So you don't just say, oh, I believe gravity is a belief. Or, yeah, gravity, I mean, that thing, I guess. No, you believe in gravity. Gravity is a law. There's not an argument against anything. It is what it is. It's a universal law. It's easier to wrap our heads around it because it's something external that we immediately see the result of. When it comes to the law of divine compensation, it is a law just like gravity, but because we can't necessarily tangibly see how it works, it then becomes, as humans, a little bit harder to wrap our heads around it. But the law of divine compensation, and I'll read from the book Marianne Williamson, it basically says, to whatever extent your mind is aligned with love, you will receive the law of compensation. So basically that's what it's saying is the more you align with love, the more you lead your life based in love and not fear. Not fear can be being selfish. Fear can be jealousy. Fear can be not trusting in God, not trusting that everything is happening for your best, whatever, however tragic that might be. But the law of compensation says, the more spiritually abundant you are, the more you feel that your source of abundance comes from within, not from the latest purse that you bought or the latest t-shirt that you acquired or the latest restaurant reservation you might have gone to. Your happiness, your abundance doesn't come from external conditions. It comes from your internal source. So the law of divine compensation says, the more your mind understands that that is the law, the more you will be rewarded in a material way. So where there is lack, the universe is already planning to add that more lack to your circumstances. So I think a lot of times, and please ask me any questions that come up, because this can get super tricky. A lot of times we say, if the universe is here for my best and highest good, why do I keep getting more of the things that I don't want? Right? Because the universe is holy, the universe is whole. The part that we tend to forget or not understand, that the universe and God, we have a free will. We as humans are created with free will. So nothing is ever gonna come to us if we don't want it. Right? So if we keep saying, this sucks, my life sucks, I'm surrounded by shitty people, I hate my job, you have more faith and you have more energy towards the lack and what's missing. So because you operate on free will and your energy is so high when it comes to those beliefs about how much your life sucks, then your universe responds to your energy, not your words. And you're so married to how shitty and how sucky your life is, the universe says, let me give her more of that because that's what she wants. Like, that's what she keeps talking about, so I'm going to give her more of that. Then we get a lot more, and then we wonder, why are things not working out for us? So the opposite of that to say, if you believe that, then you say, okay, well, I want to win $1 million. Why am I not winning $1 million? I believe I want to win $1 million. So if that's where you're coming from, this is where I challenge you to do. When we're done with our Zen Mondays, I don't want to deviate the conversation too much. Think about it for a second. How do you feel if you truly were to have $1 million? Are there any fears that come up for you? Is it scary to think, how am I going to manage that money? What am I going to do with that money? Am I going to get family members that are going to come out of the woodworks when I win $1 million? What if I get kidnapped because now I have $1 million in my bank? Any fears that come up, what are your true core beliefs about winning $1 million? If there's a lot of resistance and there's a lot of fear, you're never going to win that $1 million because, again, you might be saying, I'm ready, give it to me. But when you dive a little bit deeper, your beliefs don't match your words. So the universe is saying, she doesn't want that $1 million. I'm not going to give it to her. So that's just a little bit of understanding how the universe works by mirroring your beliefs and your thoughts. So I might actually do another topic of that because a lot of my coaching clients then say, okay, then how do I change my beliefs? So there is a way to change your identity. There is a way to change your thoughts and your beliefs so they match with your desires. So if you're looking at your desires and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't believe that I'll be able to do that. I don't believe that I'm worthy of having $1 million. What do I do now? There are ways. There's so many ways to change your beliefs and your thoughts and your identity. Okay, so moving forward. The last thing when it comes to the law of divine compensation is the only thing that can deactivate that law is that if you have more faith in the reality of lack than in the reality of the law. Okay. Come back, hear the rest of it. It'll be on Facebook and YouTube. I love you. Okay, so the way to deactivate the law of compensation is, I believe more in the reality of what's lacking. I have more faith in the reality of what's lacking than I do in surrendering and having faith that everything is happening to me not like it's happening against me. So I want that to be super clear, because again, we focus on what's lacking and what's missing, and that's our faith. Like, for sure, this is what we tell ourselves. For sure, this is never gonna work out for me. There's no way. Okay. Then you wonder why things don't work out. Because you have such faith in that lacking and that reality that there's no way the other can ever happen. Because if in your mind that possibility doesn't exist, then in the reality of it, it will never come true, because you can't see it in your mind. Therefore, you can't see it in your reality. Okay, so let's get on to the 4 ways, or 3 ways actually, in which you can deactivate the law of divine compensation. So basically anything that's unloving thoughts to yourself, to your neighbor, to your friends, to society, is a sure way to sabotage and deactivate the law of divine compensation. So anytime you catch yourself in an unloving thought, just know you are deactivating the law. So that's to say, okay, I catch myself in that moment of unloving, of feeling selfish, or feeling jealous, of feeling unworthy, of feeling lacking. Immediately you are deactivating the law. So earlier I had mentioned to you guys, okay, so if you tell me, what can I do to change my thoughts and to start activating more of what I want? So this is the exact moment when you catch yourself in that moment of fear. Like, this is the meat of the work. This is the meat of that inner work in order to get you to the other side. So when you catch yourself in that unloving thought or that fear, when you're feeling lacking, when you're feeling jealous, when you're feeling selfish, when you're feeling angry, all of those things, when you catch yourself in that thought, that in that second that you have awareness, hello my friend, and you have consciousness, you tell yourself, let me lean into love, let me lean into fear. You say a prayer. So this to me resonated so much, because I find myself feeling guilty so much. So anytime throughout the day, if I don't do something, if I do something, if I take action, if I don't take action, no matter what, I find myself feeling guilty. And when I was reading this book, I realized, oh my gosh, sometimes I felt guilt wasn't a big deal. I was like, okay, well, I feel guilty, I don't like it, but I don't know, that's how I was raised, or that's where I come from, or whatever it might be. And then I realized guilt is a sure way to deactivate that law of divine compensation. So now that I'm aware when I'm feeling guilty, because I'm still unlearning how to not feel guilty, I lean into love. Like, God, please help me like switch the thought. Please help me realize the opposite of feeling guilty. Let me lean into love. And I don't allow the thought of guilt to basically catch itself on fire and catch momentum. So I immediately start doing the opposite. Number 1. Number 2, anger. So anger has a positive place, if you will, in our emotions. Like, getting angry is the way for us to take action, right? So if you are depressed, let's say depression starts here, anger is a step above. So anger is positive in the sense that it allows you to take action. So anger here doesn't necessarily mean anger as in like, I'm angry, I'm going to take action. But when you're getting anger at yourself, or when you're not letting go something that happened in the past and it's making you angry for your current present, that's going to deactivate the law of divine compensation. Because instead of you realizing, okay, I made an error and I'm letting it go, or I made an error, how can I learn from it? So remember, failure is only failure if you don't learn from it. So a lot of times anger comes in, it's like, I should have done this, why didn't I start it early? And you're angry at yourself, then that's gonna deactivate that law of abundance and that law of divine compensation, because you're pointing the arrows at yourself. So again, when you're feeling angry, pray in that moment of anger. Pray, how can I let go? Like, dear God, dear universe, help me release this anger so I see the love in the situation. Immediately you shift it. And lastly is any thoughts of negative self. So when you're thinking I'm not worthy, when you're thinking I don't deserve this, when you're thinking I don't believe I can be this, whatever your dream might be, when you have that negative talk of that negative sense of self, you are deactivating the law of divine compensation. Because what you're basically saying, the universe is perfectly arranged to give you everything, like the abundance, the desires, the goals, the fulfillment, the relationships, the money, like all of it. But every single time you're like, no, I don't deserve it. I don't think I'm worth it. I don't think I'm capable. Should I? Can I do that? You're rerouting. So the universe is like, here you go. Never mind. Reroute. So if that helps you bring awareness to your consciousness of how you're talking to yourself, what kind of thoughts are on constant replay in your mind, and if it's about guilt, anger, self-anger, or a negative sense of self, then you immediately say no. Let me shift it, let me turn it, because otherwise I am blocking the law of divine compensation, which is the last thing I'm sure any of us want to do. Okay, so there's 3 more things I want to share with you, and then we'll do the meditation. But I want to share with you ways that you can improve or strengthen your relationship with abundance, your relationship with money, your relationship with your like divine compensation, anything around that. So first of all is starting with bringing consciousness of how you feel about money, how you feel about abundance. So again, I mentioned earlier in the example of a lot of people that win the lottery and that win $1 million or $400 million, absurd amount of money. Within 3, 4, 5 years, they're completely back to where they were, if not worse. And the reason why is because they never shifted the beliefs and the thoughts they had about money. So if there's anywhere you want to start is by saying, how do I feel about money? So something I do that works really, really well with my clients is start by writing a letter to money. I know it might sound a little bit silly, but as if you were writing a letter to your best friend in the world, just like, dear money, this is how I feel about you. You're constant, you're not constant, you're a struggle in my life, you're a roller coaster of emotions. I don't know how to feel about you, I don't know how to hold on to whatever comes up. Because if you're writing in a way that's very personable, in a way that you can relate to, after you read it, you're gonna realize, okay, these are the areas that me and money are like this. These are the areas that me and money are not. So if you start thinking about money as a person and as your best friend, if you had a best friend that would come over every day to your house and every day she comes over, you're like, you suck, you're never around where I need you, you're always gone, I never have enough of you, guarantee you without a day or 2, if not earlier, that best friend is never going to come by again. Nobody would want to be around you if that's how you were all the time. So if you think of money like a person that has energy, because that's exactly what it is, how do you want to treat money? You want to court it, you want to flirt with it, you want to be grateful for it. So first thing, write a letter to money, and it'll give you an awareness and consciousness of how you feel about money. Number 2, and you can do this easily every single day, is write a statement about why you're grateful for money. I am grateful that I get to buy coffee with you every day, money. I'm grateful that you help me pay my rent. I am grateful, anything, just one thing a day, because you want to get into that energy of money. And the last thing is know that money is an energy, and the more you wrap your head around that, the more it'll ring true to you. But the only way that us humans in this reality get money is through people. Whether it's a check in the mail, whether it's the corporation that is paying you, whether it's a client that hired you, whether somebody gave you a gift and mailed you a check, like the only way to get money in this physical world is through a person, right? Like money's not just going to appear on top of your coffee table. So start being grateful for people in your life. The people that are sources of money in your life, start being grateful for them. Because the more you realize that you're grateful for that resource that brings in money, the more you're going to find people, and the more you'll find that random check in the mail. Like I found a check, true story, that my parents gave me 4 years ago for my birthday that I never cashed. Don't ask me why. That's like a whole different story. But it was a check at the bottom of this purse that I barely even use. And a couple weeks ago, I was going through it. I don't even know why. I was, going through some stuff, and I realized, oh my God. And it was a good amount of money. So what I'm saying is, if you're grateful for people that are resources of money in your life, and you truly find an authentic way to find that way of being grateful, the more money will start wanting to show up in your life. So I want to start the meditation, and before I begin, the last thing is, if you were listening from the beginning, if not, I really suggest you listen the whole way through. But I love that it's the last thing that Marianne says in her book, The Divine Law of Compensation, is that any desires, because I think a lot of people sometimes get down on themselves, like, oh my gosh, I'm so guilty, I feel so angry, I have such a negative sense of self, and they feel like, does that mean I'm not gonna get miracles? Does that mean that my goals are never gonna come true? She says something that's so beautiful that says, any miracle you might have deflected in the past is held for trust until you are ready to receive it. So the universe has an inbuilt insurance policy. So any miracles that right now you're not ready to receive, don't worry about them. Because the more you lift your consciousness, the more you're able to have more awareness, have a better relationship around money, those miracles will come. Book is upside down. Wait, is it? I think that's just the way I can see it, but this is the book. It's called The Law of Divine Compensation by Marianne Williamson. Here it is. Thank you, Mel. Yeah, this shirt. So for those of you that know my husband, this shirt reminds me of him because he has crazy eyebrows and he's always looking at me like, I don't know about that. So any questions before we move into our meditation? Hello, Melissa. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so it'll be probably a 3 to 4 minute meditation, and it's all about but getting in the energy of abundance. So let's get comfortable. It'll be, again, no more than 5 minutes. It'll be perfect before you continue your Monday evening and before you continue your week. So let's take a deep breath. Get comfortable. Let's take a deep breath all the way in. And exhale all the way out. Let's take another deep breath through your nose. And as you exhale, just gently close your eyes. I want you to focus right on that energy on your heart. If it helps, just gently place your hand above your heart and start feeling your heartbeat. Gently, softly. Begin connecting with yourself, the essence of yourself, the essence of the things you love about yourself. Is it your sense of humor? Is it your compassion towards others? Is it your sharing and always wanting to give to others? Be any of those, it could be all of those. Connect with those things that make you love yourself, make you be exactly who you love to be. And as you're connecting to that, start thinking about abundance. You know, abundance doesn't necessarily have to be financial abundance. But think about the areas in your life that you are abundant. Is it with your family? Do you have a beautiful family Is it your friends? Are you abundant in friendships? Are you abundant in time? What about laughter or dreams? Anything in your life that you're like, wow, I feel so grateful because I am so abundant in this area of my life. So you continue to breathe and feel your heartbeat. Just really tune in to those feelings of abundance. How do they make you feel? Does it make you feel playful, joyful, loved? Does it make you feel more freeing? What things come to mind? What feelings come to mind when you think of that area of abundance in your life? Now start considering all those feelings and all those emotions. How would it feel if you would apply that on an everyday basis? How could you be more joyful, more playful, more loving? Whatever feelings came up for you. And just take a few seconds to start daydreaming about your perfect day where all those emotions and all those feelings of abundance were a part of your day. From the moment you wake up till the moment you go to bed. And just play, just dream. Now back up all those feelings in that beautiful day with your heartbeat. Your heartbeat is that constant anchor that allows you to ground yourself in those feelings of abundance in that area of your life that you are so grateful for. And as you begin to come back to your body, back to where you're sitting or wherever you're laying down, I want you to feel that energy in your body. If you're feeling tingles, if you're feeling love, if you're feeling playfulness, whatever's coming up, and connect that with the hand on your heart and the beat of your heart. Really make that connection right now. And know for this week that whenever there's a fear that comes up, whenever you have a lack mentality around abundance in the financial, around money, you can place your hand on your heart, connect with those emotions that you feel in that area of your life that you are abundant in, and know that they all are one in the same. Abundance is the same as it is with friendships and family and love as it is financially. It's just a matter of having that perception and knowing that it is. So know that by placing your hand on your heart, anytime this week you're feeling fearful or you're feeling that you're lacking, you're able to connect with a loving emotion and you're able to bring that to surface and use that to change the situation around and connect back to love. A Course in Miracles says there is no difficulty in the level of the miracle. All miracles are the same to the universe. So it's just a matter of perception and consciousness and belief in your desires in order for that miracle to come true. Take a deep breath all the way in and feel this amazing energy within you. Hold it at the top, feel that energy, feel that heartbeat, and release through your mouth. Whenever you're ready, just open up your eyes. Hello, my friends. Welcome, welcome back. Hi, Miss Leah. Oh my God, it's been so long. I hope you are doing amazing. How did you guys feel? How was that meditation? I hope you loved it. If you are just joining in, feel free to watch from the beginning again. Tonight's topic was all about the energy of money, the energy of abundance. I walk you through principles in the universe laws, and I share with you 3 ways that you might be deactivating the law of divine compensation from coming to you. So it is such a powerful episode. I am myself learning and practicing these laws, and I feel super proud of myself. So here is a way to brag, right? Why not brag? I'm proud of myself that that I felt guided to share these principles with you guys. And instead of feeling fearful and thinking like, oh shit, who am I to be doing this? Who am I to be sharing this? I said, you know what? If I feel it, I'm gonna go with it. So my intention is that it helped you. My intention is that it served you. And again, I am here every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern to about half an hour for Zen Mondays. Today we went over a little bit, but it was such an amazing topic. I hope you loved it. I hope it served you. My name is Stephanie Virchaux again. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Go to my website, stephanievirchaux.com. I am taking coaching clients. I do energy work. So anything I share with you guys is something that I do. It's my business. It's what I'm passionate about. So reach out. Let's talk. Don't be shy. If you love this episode, if you know somebody that can benefit from it, please share the love. I am on Facebook and I am Instagram and YouTube. And I just started a new Facebook group. It's called All About Crystals, Empowerment Tips. If you look me up on Facebook, you can find me. So anyways, have an amazing week. Let me find a really good song so we can all leave with high spirits and high vibes. Come on, Spotify. Come on, Spotify. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Pink. Right? I love you guys. Join me again next Monday for a new brand, Zen Mondays. Mwah. Have an amazing week. I will see you guys around.